Now we are going to learn how to copy an object. That is, how to make a separate copy of an object, which is significantly different from copying a normal identifier, that is a normal variable or constant. So when it comes to a normal variable or normal constant, or let's say the normal identifier, you can just use the assignment operator to make a copy of that variable or constant. For example, if you see at the left hand side of the slide, copying a normal variable, you can easily see that first I have in the first example I have created a integer type variable v1 and assigned a value of 20 in it. And after that, what I have done, I have created another variable called copy of v1, and then I have used copy of v1 equals symbol, that is the assignment operator, and then v1. And this simple assignment, what it will do, it will copy the content of v1, that is 20, inside copy of v1. So that is it. That's the way how you will copy a normal identifier, make a separate copy of a normal identifier. And this is not only for integer, you can use the same procedure for floating point number, for character, for boolean, for any type of normal identifier, variable or constant. But whenever it comes to object, the scenario is pretty different. You cannot just use an equal symbol to make a separate copy of an object. So now let us have a look at this right hand side example, like copying an object. So here what I have done, I have created a class named a class, and inside that class I have created three different variables like int v1, float v2 and char v3. And after the class I have created an object of the class in this line. And after that, what I have done is I have simply used an assignment operator over here to make a copy of an object. But when I am doing in this way, it does not make a separate copy of the object. What it does is, instead of making an entirely separate copy, it just copy the memory address of the original object, and that is it. So what it does is, basically you can a real world example can be handy to clarify the concept. So let's say you have a house of your own. It looks something like this. So this is your house, and so this is the object, and you want to make a separate copy of your house. That means you want to rebuild the house in a different place or somewhere. But when you are doing this using this assignment operator, it does not make a separate house like this. It does not happen something like this. No. But what it actually does is, it basically, this is, let's say, your address. So street, apartment, number, and all these things. This is basically your address. When you are using this assignment operator, this basically creates the copy of the address, and that is it. Address, copy, street, apartment number, and all other different things. So it just makes another copy of the object, and that is it. And this object, this copy of the object, again points to the same house. So what you are doing whenever you are doing an assignment operator, just assignment operator, instead of making your own house, making a separate copy, your copy of your own house, you are just copying the address of the original house, and that's what exactly happens. So that is not the way how you can copy an object. So what is the way to copy an object if not assignment operator? There comes the concept of copy constructor. So what is a copy constructor? Copy constructor is a special type of constructor function. Constructor function means the function which has the same name as that of the class. So where but this special type of constructor takes the object of the same class as a parameter. So once again, copy constructor is a special type of constructor function with the same name as that of the class. But what is the speciality? The speciality is it takes the object of the same class as its parameter, as you can see in this example. So what happens if you do something like this? Just remember the concept of constructor. What a constructor does, constructor creates an object, creates a new object. So by means of this constructor, you are creating a new object, and by passing this object of same class, you can create a copy of this object. So whenever you are calling the copy constructor something like this, in what you can see in this line, that is a class copy of an object, and then passing this value, whenever you are passing in this way, creating an object by passing the object of the same class which you want to copy, what happens is, by means of it calls the copy constructor of that class, and once again by means of the constructor function, it is this line creates a new object, what you really want, and by passing the original object as a parameter to this function, you are creating a copy of the original object. So, and if you do that, then you will get the desired result that you can see in this right hand side of the slide. You have made a separate copy of the object, of the original object. This is the original object and this is a separate copy of the object. So that is the concept of the copy constructor. You will learn more about the copy constructor concept and the language specific syntax in the language specific courses in future. But in this course, I just wanted to give you the idea that making a separate copy of an object is significantly different from making a separate copy of a normal identifier, variable, or constant. And you have to use a special type of constructor called CopyConstructor to do that.